All right, we are live, everyone. Diamond, I'm going to let you check while I make sure that we are live.
Welcome in, everyone. As you're coming in, please let us know where you are tuning in from. I see that we already have people from Charleston, South Carolina, from Jacksonville, Florida. So, as you guys come in, please drop in the comment section of where you are viewing us from. So, this just gives us a chance to try to interact with as many people as possible. And as always, as you have your questions, please leave them in the comment section and we will be circling back to them even if we don't get to it right at that moment. So we are doing our No More Getting It Out the Mud challenge. And it's all about collaboration, all about leveraging income and credit for generational wealth, or just to put yourself and your family in a better position. Thank you guys for coming in New York City, Georgia's in the house, West Virginia, Detroit. Thank you guys so much for joining in. Mom, am I forgetting something?
I see Jersey, Jersey.
Jersey
We're
in the
so
house.
Jersey, Mississippi, and Virginia. And no, you are not forgetting anything. We value and respect you guys' time. So we're going to get into our subject for tonight. And Diamond's going to chime in some areas because our focus is the No More Getting It Out the Mud challenge. So, one thing we want you to do when we start this live, we've been encouraging you guys to partner up. So, make sure you share the live out with somebody that you are trying to get come in, to the fold to work with you. And also, if you can give us a thumbs up, it does help to get the live out. If you could just like the live. And additionally, with this No More Getting It Out the Mud challenge, tonight I'm going to talk about 4 steps to get massive credit card limits, even with bad credit. But you guys, I'm going to talk about actionable steps that you can take, but the lineup on how we're going with this thing, because with the No More Getting It Out the Mud challenge, one of the things we're talking about is how we can work together for more cash flow, more income. So, the 4th step is going to talk about how to move into business credit. So, we have to be transparent and real. You don't want large credit lines just to put a bunch of stuff that you can't afford. The reason why I'm talking about expanding these larger credit lines for yourself, it does help you maintain your credit. So I understand if you have smaller credit lines, $300, $500 is very easy to go over your credit card utilization. But at the same time, if we're going to move into a better credit score, one thing we got to maintain and just really keep it real, this core maintain idea. If we're dealing with troubled credit, it's a reason why we're here in life if you're dealing with that. So I don't want to negate that. I want you guys to identify, why do I currently have trouble credit? And for me doing this out of 15, like since 2015, I never met one person that just said, "Hey, I woke up and I just realized I want to mess up my credit one day." Nobody does that. Nobody just said, "I'm going to mess my credit score." Life happened. They lost a job, somebody, a loved one passed away, and people just couldn't cope. It's like, I didn't have the money, the struggle of burying someone. And some people just got hurt. And it was like, I didn't have the income because I got hurt, I got injured, and I can no longer work. So, one of the things we want to focus on is cash flow. And thank you guys for continually dropping where you're coming from. I see Puerto Rico. So, welcome in everybody. And Virginia Beach, thank you. I see all you guys. Thank you. And so, just understand, well, if those situations came in and that happened to you, maybe one of the things we need to focus on is cash flow. And I think that's what a lot of people don't understand about the core problem with their credit. somewhere I didn't have cash flow in life, that when these things in life came up, did I have enough cash flow without actually physically working to pay my bills? So maybe this time, and retrospect and moving forward to repair your credit and get in these larger lines, maybe we should think about moving to business credit towards the end in that fourth step. And one of the biggest components of getting business credit, because unlike personal credit, business credit, many companies don't report to your personal credit score. So it helps you manage utilization that you have on that card, because it doesn't show up and it doesn't bring your credit score down. But even additionally, they give you larger lines out the rip. You're going to, when you get business credit cards, the lines are larger than personal credit card lines because it's for business. But at the same time, they have requirements. If you're going to PG, and that's called personal guarantee, which many people are, if you're dealing with big banks, they're going to need you to personal guarantee that, because unless you have cash flow of that business over $2 million, they're just not going to put it in a business name and some assets. So they're going to look at your personal credit to judge, are you a good steward to trust? So at that point, the big banks are looking for you to have a solid 700 credit score with no negative items, late payments, not for 2 years. They don't want to see any bankruptcies. They don't want to see, charge offs, collections. So, what we need to do as we're getting these larger credit lines when our credit is bad, start as we get in these larger credit lines, let's start cleaning up our credit at the same time. Because we have trouble credit, don't mean it should be the game plan to stay there. Okay, so we're going to talk about strategies and the reason why you need those larger lines. If you're going to personal guarantee and the bank is looking at you, they want to see as one of the requirements for you to be a PG or get those business line of credit, you need a primary credit card or line, trade line. And this is a revolving credit card over $5,000. So if your credit score is 740, but the largest credit card that you got is $3,000, they will not consider you. So the plan on getting these larger lines and cleaning up our credit, that should be our game plan. And thinking about how can we make more money? Can we invest? Is that an option? Working together. This is what we're talking about. Can you leverage some of your skills and start to do some consulting? We're talking about social media, content creation. That's not a full-time job. It's part-time where you can make money in your current job putting out things on social media. And Diamond is going to touch on that, on ways to make money. And by doing that, that's actually a business. That's how you tap in to business credit, because social media, you guys might think, oh, it's just a content creator. No, it's actually marketing and advertising. And so that can qualify you without even making money in it, just projecting to get approved for business lines of credit. And so we want to talk about that, on ways to really, ideas to leverage and working together on doing that. So we want to encourage you, bring somebody in and y'all start working together at the same time to build your credit up. Because sometimes when you got especially three people, that's why we say that three number, one person might get derailed, one person might work with you, but something happened, they fall out off. That fall off person might be you. But one thing, like even when me and Diamond was focusing on our health, losing weight at the same time, she started pulling out in front of me when I kind of fell back, sometimes the envy of somebody that's keep progressing, it's not no hate or no shade. You be like, and she would come, I was like, oh, wait. And I'm like, what are you doing? And so she was like, I stopped eating beef. You know what I did? I was like, I'm going to stop eating beef too. So, what I'm just saying with working with multiple people, even if you fall off sometimes, that person that keeps going will drive you. I don't want to use jealousy, but it will, yeah, you'll look at their progress like, dang, they started when I started. I got to get back on my game. And so it's a level of encouragement. And you
Mhm.
guys can share ideas on how we can, while we're building our credit, make more money. So I want to touch in on that. Diamond, do you have anything to add before we go into these actual, like just giving them actionable steps? Because I hate when people, I don't know if you guys in the chat want to give us feedback. Do you hate generalization when people just put pie in the sky? Like you need to bring your utilization down. Well, how am I supposed to go about doing that? Just like
Yeah.
Kanye said to Sway, you ain't got the answer, Sway. You know what I'm saying? How am I supposed to go about doing that? So we want to give you at least, even if the idea doesn't align to you, at least you like, okay, I got an example of what you guys are talking about. And maybe I might not can do that, but I can do this instead. So Diamond, you want anything to add?
Yeah, I just wanted to piggyback off of utilizing your skills that you already have. And I think one of the biggest ways to do it, even when we're talking about social media, since we're in this space, and a lot of times people are like, well, how do I make money in social media? And the number one thing to do is going to be leveraging your skills and to start freelancing. So, doing either consulting or offering some type of digital service. So, even like a big one that actually pays really well is like becoming a virtual assistant, becoming a social media manager. And there's so many different small businesses. And so what you can do is you're leveraging social media, you're leveraging even places like LinkedIn, Facebook, you're leveraging YouTube to make videos around how you can help other people, right? And I think that if you go into social media with the idea of not just creating content to create content, but to actually solve a problem, then you're opening yourself up for I'm going to say for a very lucrative path that you can actually hit the ground running to start making money. So I talk about some of these things that you can do within my last video on ways that you can actually start a channel and monetize that channel from the very first day. So as proof of that, on my channel, I'm not on my second channel. I'm not monetized. I put out a video that had like 300 views at first. Now it's gotten up to 1,000. And I just talked about and offered my consultants, right? My consultancy. And I told people, hey, this is how you could solve this problem. And I ended up getting bookings from that one video. And that video now only has like 1,000 views. The channel only has about 2,000 subscribers. So this is just a way that you can start generating income, and it's going to be definitely through digital services. So if you can think about the career path that you're in right now and figuring out a way where you can package that and offer it to people, that is going to be another way to actually generate that income, so that you can go ahead and put that on credit cards and put that wherever else the money needs to go, so that you can start leveraging your credit or rebuilding your credit, even if you're in a place where you feel like, things went wrong, things went bad, it's not over, but you just start building those incomes there.
And thank you, Miss Murphy. Miss Murphy
Yes, sir.
always support our lives. Thank you so much. Blessings from New York to you, Miss Murphy. And we thank everybody that support Miss Murphy always do. So we really totally appreciate it. Thank you so much. And I see Robert G. He always support my videos too. Everyone I drop. So thank you. Thank you so much, Miss Murphy. And we really appreciate you. Another thing, what one idea I want to give you guys too, and you might seen this where we're talking about making money, starting a channel together. Diamond can tell you her channel, and when it began to start Me and her was dropping content together. So even if you are in a circle, and this is what collaboration is about, there's certain channels like the African Diaspora channel. I just one I think of. There's channels, even if you don't like them, the Daily Wire. They're set up as news channels where they have different people with slots dropping their videos. So you can set up with somebody else who have a realm of knowledge, even if it's not exactly like that. You guys can set up a channel together and create content together around the same thing, or you can do panels. So what I'm just giving you of ways to make money or start off, which is an actual business working together, then you guys can actually then begin to create, and you're spreading, building together, you're spreading the responsibility around, and it's not so much heavy on you. One thing too about working together, like with me and Diamond, even with your credit, right? When you're working together, or say, I just use talk about weight loss a lot because I think all of us have done that one way or the other, or tried to improve our health. Working with other people, sometimes because they're in it with you, they can tell you how to do it better. Or, hey, I found this thing that worked. So that shared resource is knowledge. Do not negate that. Y'all being here. Do you know how much time that knowledge can save you? Where people say time is money, it is true. But guess what? To a certain extent, time is more valuable than money, because you can make some more money, but you can't make more time. So when you have somebody working with you, instead of you spending all your energies researching and doing that, they can help bring the resource of knowledge together, and you guys can get there faster. So we just want to give you an idea. If you need help with the social media part, Diamond does help with that. She's actually having a group on her channel if you guys want a support group. And one thing YouTube is doing a lot now, if you see the collaborations, now you can work with other people and collab, and when each one drop a video, this can help you guys get your numbers up together. So we encourage a lot of people, if you're starting that journey and this is what you're doing with that program, come in and leverage that, where you guys can help one another and you can share actual subscribers. You can tell, you can work in tandem. Who did that? Like Kai Sanat, where you talk about streamers, a lot of them had streaming houses
Yep.
where they work together and to get their names out there, and they came synonymous. We see this a lot in music, especially in hip hop. Let's say Busta Rhymes, I forgot what his group was, but let's say 50 Cent, G Unit.
Mhm.
This is why they do that. It was a collaboration where I have the burn. Now, look, Junior Mafia, Jay-Z, Rockefeller, and all of that. So my actual burn helped these other people get out. You can do the same thing. And you can not just exclusive to social media, but into other areas too.
Yep.
Do you have any more to add to those things, Diamond?
No, no. We can jump into the 4 steps to get massive credit card limits, even with bad credit.
Credit. So we're going to jump into these 4 steps for you guys. And I have my notes. So step one, number one of the things that you need to focus on if you're going to improve your credit score, and you already, even if you don't have trouble credit, you're not sure, you need to actually pull your credit scores. And I encourage you, it is imperative to monitor your credit. So you're going to have to pay for some level of monetization to monitor your credit. You have to know where your scores is. It's almost synonymous with losing weight. There's no way to see if you're making progress if you don't get on the scale. So monitoring your credit is going to be that scale on your progress or your regression. in your journey. So that's very important. And what you want to look at if we're trying to get larger lines of credit, which is number one, you want to see what's reporting negatively on your credit. So that's where you have to start there. And this is going to be a lot because a lot of the steps for you to move forward to get those bigger lines. So, one of the things you need to know, what is the name of the banks, whether it be Synchrony, say Chase, that you might have defaulted on. The reason why you need to know those banks, you don't want to go there and try to ask for credit. So Synchrony, it underwrites a lot of cards. So if I defaulted on my care credit card and I know that's a charge off, I don't want to go and try to go somewhere where it's underwritten by Synchrony. Um, let's say the Ashley furniture card underwritten by Synchrony Bank. So you shouldn't want to go over there to apply for that card because it's going to be a no because you already have outstanding debt with that bank. So you want to identify those things so we can stay away from going over there to ask for credit. Because if you get denied, then we're hustling backwards. Every hard inquiry costs you 3 to 5 points. So when you are under, you guys, that 700 credit score, if you could add on a credit card, you can see an increase of 50 points on average. So if you get that card, that hard pull, if you lose 3 points, you're gaining 48 points, 47 points. So it's not as damaging, but we don't want to just keep getting denied and losing 3 and 5 points because that can actually work backwards for you. Additionally, hard inquiries can get you denied for credit. Banks have a breaking point. Most banks, they don't want to see that you got more than 20, like at least six inquiries, more than six inquiries you're getting there in 2 years. So you want to minimize those as much as possible. Diamond dropped the link because we have a free hard inquiry removal package. You guys can pick that up for free. Just download it from the website. If you have a ton of hard inquiries, you want to work on that. Additionally, you want to also look at those charge-offs and collections. See if they are reporting late every month. So if you see a CO, a C hitting you every month, they're doing that on purpose to try to keep your credit scores down. You need to dispute that ASAP. So you want to dispute that. What's equal to that is also if you have a open credit card note, and it's currently behind and it's open, it's not charged off, it's not in a collection status, you need to bring those current because every time it hits you late, it's keeping your credit score down. Even if you happen that month to make some progress, the next month that is late, your credit score is going to drop back down. So you want to make sure that is not happening. And if you have any charge off or collections, see if that's dinging you every month. If it's happening with collections, that's a violation of the FCRA. You want to dispute that from the door. That should not be happening. It is a collection. You never did business with them. So it can't have a monthly payment due every month. It's a collection. So you want to dispute that. With my elite credit system, one of my users, Greg, was able to remove a collection within 12 days. So collection hard inquiries are some of the easiest accounts to get off. Don't just sit there and deal with that. Just get them off, you guys, because certain banks, it's only if you're going to apply for credit, it's going to limit you because American Express, Chase, Discover, they don't want to see any collections on your credit report. So you're going to reach a glass ceiling eventually. And if we're trying to get over to those business credit cards, those things need to be off. So just go on and dispute that. And additionally, what you're going to do in this stage when you look at your credit report, you want to look at what I said, which banks you defaulted. We want to stay away from that. Those banks, we don't want to go over there to try to get larger lines of credit. You want to notate what is your highest credit score. So you want to know, what's my highest credit score? What's my second highest credit score? Because when it comes down to your credit, each bureau might not be reporting all the same negative items. So you might have a collection, let's say on Equifax and TransUnion, but it might not be showing up on Experian. And your Experian score might be 50 points higher. So we want to look for banks that pull from Experian for you. So we want to try to go for banks in that category. You want to stay away. If Equifax is your lowest credit score, go in places applying for Equifax. We want to work with our strength, okay? And if you're disputing those negative items in that month that you're starting, by next month, something might fall off and your score might be higher in any given one of these bureaus, okay? So we need to know that, because when it comes down to credit card, a lot of banks pull exclusively from that credit bureau. So if it's clean or have less negative items on it, they don't see the other credit report. If it's Equifax, that's your lowest, they don't see those items on there. So you need to know that, so you can focus on banks that pull strictly from your strongest credit scores. We want to work there. And we want to, when we go to apply, and this is why you need to start here. Number one, find those banks and cards with soft pull pre-qualifications. A pre-qualification give you a 80 to 90% chance of getting approved for that card if you pre-qualify at their website or with these cards. It's not 100% guaranteed, but it's telling you you probably are going to get this card. So we just don't want to aim, just apply, and like I said, getting denied. We're trying to line it up that we know with this card how your credit profile look. What is this bank rules? Do they take where my score is right now? I want it to almost be a guarantee that I'm surprised when I don't get approved. Not like a lot of people say, whoa, oh, girl, I was surprised when they approved me. You should have not been applying for that card then. We want to make it almost I'm guaranteed to get this. I fit in this category. So you want to make sure that you notate that, and you want to do that research. If you need help with that, or if you're trying to get help, this month I am doing consultations. So Diamond, I dropped the link. If you want to, if you need help to strategize with your individual credit score and have credit cards according to your credit score soft pull, I can personally help you with that. So that's what you want to do. Number one, you don't want to just go out there, but you want to know that. What's my highest credit score? And if you're working on your negative items, make sure you keep monitoring it, because if something fall off, that can change for you. Better change, better situation. So we're going to go to that part. Now, the second part. So step number 2, because we're saying out of the 4 steps, understand the principle. Banks only trust you as far as the last bank trusts you. So a lot of you guys have this. If I have a $300 credit card, I would credit one bank. Let's just go that. Credit one bank. I go to Capital One, apply for a credit card. I might get a $300 credit card, maybe at best 500. Maybe if it's a good day, 700 is where they might push me. But pretty much you're going to probably get 300 to 500, because what they're looking at, Credit One Bank only gave you 300. So I'm not going to give you a real big credit card because banks only trust other banks. They only believe what the banks are saying about you. So, in order for you to get out of that vicious cycle, you need to have a credit card line that's primary. So a lot of people will, and I talk about piggybacking. So that can help increase your credit score, but banks are onto that. Back in the day, if you get on somebody's credit card that have got a $15,000 credit line, then that can work for you. The bank see it as yours, but now they have on those notes authorized users. That's not going to qualify for your approval for a larger line of credit. They want credit and see primary credit cards off of your credit worthiness. So, in your primary name. So, one of the ways you can get around that, what I tell you guys, if you're trying to increase your credit score fast, if you're under that 700 credit score, adding a credit card line can boost your credit score by 50 points. If you checked and you got a collection or charge off, if they're not hitting you every month late, like I said with that CO, you're good to go. You can try to get a line of credit, okay, to help increase your credit score. You wait, let that card report. If you get approved, wait 30 days and you see your score go up. But if you're saying, hey, my score is kind of low, I have a lot of negatives, I'm not sure I have a place to go, you can use things like Meet Ava. And Meet Ava reports as a line of credit, okay, like a credit card. But every month with Meet Ava, they're giving you a credit line to pay your subscriptions, certain utilities that you might have, like cable bill, and they'll report it as a line of credit, take it out of your actual bank account and pay it and report it like a line of credit with on time payment. So, with that, it looks like you have a credit card and they can go up to $2,500 of a line of approval. So, now having something like that reporting on your credit report, what can happen for you is my light is acting crazy, but what can happen for you now, it looked like someone else already approved you for a larger line of credit, and you have banks that can say, oh, well, I can approve them for a larger line. The thing about me, Ava, what I really like about them, they can report that within 7 days. So you ain't got to wait that 30 days. You can see an increase in your credit score that fast within a week that they reported. So that is a great avenue. Now, somebody put said how rent reporters, right? And that's a good question. Like Rental Karma, that can help with on time payments. So, say if you had some late payments on your credit report, they can report backdated on time payments to help balance it out and ongoing. So, yes, that can help increase your credit score. And things like Rental Karma can report within 3 to 10 days. So, yes, that can help. But it's not like that credit card line to help boost your credit score and to get you qualified for that line of credit from the next bank, because the rent reporters will look more like an installment loan, like a car loan. So the on time payments can help increase your credit score, but with getting approved for a line of credit, they're not looking at that, because for banks, they will look for other revolving credit card lines. So with like a Meet Ava or getting a credit card, um, credit. So let's say those rent reporters, they're going to help payment history. which is 35% of your credit score. If it's going backdated, you'll see the increase and moving forward. If you're just adding a new account like that, it takes a couple of payments before you see your score go up. But backdating and getting past payments, yes, that's going to help you see your score go up because um, it'll prove a payment history. But the thing about revolving credit card lines, when you pay it on time, it's going to help with that 35% payment history because that's going to check that box as an on-time payment. But it's going to help with utilization, which is 30% of your credit score too. So payment history 35%, but utilization is 30%. So with that credit card, with those on-time payments, it's going to hit two categories for you all in one lane, right? So with that, then you're going to see your score go up because those two categories actually cover 65% of your credit score. So that's the largest chunk. So by doing that, yes, that's going to help both ways and you'll see your score go up immediately, and you're going to have a primary line of credit where you can get approved for a credit card in your name. Now, just like with the rent reporters, you can use piggybacking. So that'll help improve that past payment history, and it can help bring down your utilization, but you will not get approved for a credit card off of that. So if you need to improve your credit score by piggybacking, you can add rent reporters. Like I like Rental Karma. They do only report to TransUnion and Equifax, but they can report that fast. And if you've been living at some place for 40 years, they can back report it. Some other ones do all three, like Boom. But the only thing with Boom, and it has to come out, you have to pay that out of your checking account. They just can't just report it like that because they're going to connect, and it only go back 2 years and ongoing. So those two can work, but your primary, something like a Meet Ava that can report in 7 days, can increase your credit score. And that $2,500 line of credit, if you get approved for that, that can count as a primary account for you to get approved for that credit line, because banks only trust other banks, what they're saying about you. So that's a strategy number two. Another strategy that you can use is things like Yendo. Now, a lot of people, they feel Diamond, if you can drop that, I might have to send you with Yendo. Now, Yendo, a lot of people is like, well, with Yendo, they can approve you for a credit card attached to your car, the value of your car. So it's a line of credit. So it's almost like people say, well, it's like a title loan. No, it reports as a line of credit, but it's secured by your car. They can go up to $10,000. That can be a primary trade line. Now, the use that I would tell you guys for that, no, you don't use that because it's connected to your car. You don't use it to be shopping, but you can show it as a line of credit if you can get approved for that with your car. It looked like a primary line of credit, so you can get up to $10,000. Another thing about Yendo, where we're talking about making money, Yendo, one of the things that they're offering with Yendo is saying we can refinance your car and give you a line of credit and save you on average of $200 to $300 a month on your car payment. So when we're talking about having more cash flow, a dollar saved is a dollar earned. So if I can refinance a car, get a line of credit with it, it actually looked like I got a 10,000 line of credit that I can also use and I'm decreasing my credit score. I mean, I'm decreasing my not credit score, but I'm decreasing my payment. I'm getting more cash flow at the same time. That can be a strategy for you, because a dollar save is a dollar earned. I don't have to work and make an extra $300. That can be money saved. Additionally, with both of these options, let's say even the Meet Ava, going back to that, in 7 days, if that can report your credit score go up, you're in a different bracket. That's one of the things you guys might want to consider too. If you can improve your credit score, maybe start looking at your bills. You should be doing that. How much income do I really need to live every month to make my bills? Once your credit scores start going up, the thing with good credit, maybe you need to see if I can get a loan if I have higher credit card debt. And at the time I had trouble credit, the current loan I have might have higher interest. Now that I got a better credit score, can I now get a loan, pay off that loan, and not be paying this higher interest over here and save money? Maybe I'm going to save now $300 a month. That's another thing. Dollar save is a dollar earned. So a lot of getting your credit score higher, maybe the existing things that you have, because when you started off, I had trouble credit. Now I might can save money because I got a higher credit score, and now I can get a lower interest rate. Maybe even not using the Yendo, even if I add the Ava, maybe now my current car note, maybe I can refinance with my credit union because now my credit score is higher. Maybe that's the way I can save money. So you can think about it. I even had somebody in the group, they got a car during the pandemic, and if y'all remember, interest rates was higher, cost of cars was higher, and they actually start getting in a financial situation because a spouse got sick, and it really, they lost cash flow. One of the things with this member of the group, they actually went back and they had a luxury car, or they have a luxury car, talked to the dealer reached out to them, and they actually gave them a new car with a lower with, and took the trade in and gave them a new car, and with a lower interest rate and a lower payment where that person could afford, and it changed their situation, and they got a newer car. So I'm not saying, maybe you might want to look at it even that when your credit score get higher. Now with a lot of these dealerships, they might take that car. And if you got it during the pandemic and like my payment is really high, if you're plugging in, making your payments on time, maybe the option is to see if you go to back to that dealer, can you do a trade in? And is it possible, can you get a lower interest rates? Because dealers really are not moving cars right now. So that might be an option. So just improving your credit score with some of these things that I mentioned, it could be a dollar saved as a dollar earned. So that can also be a strategy on that being your option, taking that approach too, so you can move towards, getting lower interest rates and moving up to a higher credit score. So let's move up to number 3. So number 3, so as I talked about Yendo, the great thing about that, Yendo and Meet Ava, especially, it can report within 7 days. So that's a positive. If you can get that report, you can see an increase in your credit score. As I said, long as nothing is hitting you late every month. If you have a collection or charge off, it's hitting you late, just time it out, dispute it, see if you can stop that from happening. If it's not reporting late every month and it's a standstill, you can go with that strategy. You'll see your score go up as long as nothing is hitting you late every month. So number three, what you want to do is then move on to the list of banks that you identified. When you took step number one, you identified pulling your credit reports, seeing what's your highest actual credit score, looking at the negative items, if you had some, who you defaulted in, because we're not going to them to apply for credit because it might be a hard no. Like, nah, we're not doing, you owe us money. So we want to avoid them. And so we can now move on to some other options that might, in this category, my credit might not be perfect, but there's some people that still don't, that work with non-perfect credit that can give me a higher credit card line approval. One of them, if you are military connected, if you're a member of Navy Federal, that should be a place that you should go. I have seen people membership with Navy Federal, had the right relationship with them, get a credit card, 580 credit score, 25,000. Perfect. Move on over to Navy Federal. You need to leverage that relationship. I'm not with the pledge loan and all of that. Nah, you want to get in there. And I got videos about that. I got testimonials for years on that. And go watch those videos. If you are a member of Navy Federal, another way, you have to be a member. But if you have a grandparent that was in the military, some of y'all got great grandparents, that can be your way into Navy Federal. Call in and see what paperwork or what you might have to prove in order to become a member. If you have a spouse, you're a contractor, your kid is in ROTC, you can join Navy Federal. So look at your options. But with Navy Federal, you can have lower credit scores and get approved for higher credit limits. So if you're already struggling and you're in that mid place, going to Navy Federal, if they can give you a larger credit line, why they're so good, telling you guys, banks only trust you as far as the last bank trusts you. So if Navy Fed give you a $25,000 credit card, you go to a certain bank, your stuff is cleaned up at that time, they're going to give you beyond that. I'll give you an example. With Navy Fed, I had a credit line of, and I already knew this principle, of $25,000, my highest card with them starting off. Went to Chase. Chase gave me $33,000, a $33,000 credit card. Because like I said, banks, if they already see you, another bank trusts you, they'll go a little bit beyond that. So you can get larger lines, actually taking that strategy. Now, some people say, hey, well, I don't have that kind of relationship. Other places you can go is PenFed. PenFed, $5 to join, and they pull from Equifax, I believe, for their credit cards, PenFed. So you could pre-qualify with them when you get over there. You might want to work on your stuff a little bit. Okay. You want to do your direct deposit, but PenFed is a good option. They can work with you. Car loans, PenFed is real good with car loans. I believe their car loans go up to 150,000. So they're a good one for that too, or even refinancing. So that's an option if you're not in the military. PenFed might be an option where they work with you. Your credit unions are going to do that. Another one, if you're not going the credit union route that can work with you with some larger lines and your stuff is not all perfect, Pedal, the Pedal 2 card. So Pedal is a fintech company. So you could look at Pedal. They're going to judge primarily your income and not all your credit score. So the Petal 2 card. So Pedal, Diamond, if you drop this in for them so they can see it, is PETAL 2 card. All right. So you guys can check that out. Soft pull pre-approval. That can be one of the lines. Other gems I'm going to give you tonight. So I hope you have a pen and a pad. Looking for credit unions that use a FICO 4 scoring model to give you a not a FICO 4, a Vantage 4.0, Vantage 3.0 scoring models. Because some of you guys with Vantage scores tend to be higher than your FICO scores. So, woo, woo, woo. There are certain credit unions that judge that for your approval for credit cards. Some of them is Baxter Credit Union, Alliant Credit Union is another one, Secured Service Federal Credit Union, Verenian Credit Union, and those are some of the lists that I have written down. So let me say it again: BCU, which is Baxter Credit Union. And I'll drop this a link. You know what? I'll drop this after the live in. I'll make sure I put these credit unions so you guys can have that information. Baxter, Alliant Credit Union, Security Service Federal Credit Union, and Veridian Credit Union. It's others out there, but we're just going to keep it pushing because I'm going to give you some more information in this category. Now, if you're looking, like I said, because we're trying to get primary credit lines with people that deal with a little trouble credit, some of the ones that can give you bigger lines, that's not credit unions, but these might be closed loop lines of credit. So we're talking about certain stores are more likely to give you maybe larger lines of credit, but it doesn't have a Visa, MasterCard logo, but it's exclusively for that store. That can also be a primary trade line for you to get that larger lines of credit. And some that's known to give you larger lines, Amazon store card. So that's one. That's going to be Synchrony. Care Credit is another one. You can go over there. Care Credit will show you your pre-approved line of credit. IKEA, that's another one. Alpheon is another one too. They'll show you your pre-qualified line of credit limit, pre-qualified limit. IKEA does that. IKEA does that too with their project card. So it's their store card. Stay away from the Visa card because you might not qualify for that. I'm giving you stuff with lower credit scores. And another one is Ashley. So furniture stores like that, I talked about that a lot. I think the last thing, that furniture stores can approve lower credit scores for larger lines of credit because, hey, they want you to buy a couch. And you can't buy no couch with a $500, $300 line of credit many times. So they might work with you. And one that you can go and check out, Ashley, theirs is underwritten by Synchrony. And if you run across some others on your own, that can be an option for you. Just make these are soft pull pre-qualifications I just gave y'all. So you're not just applying aimlessly. You can go to those and see if you're pre-qualified. So giving you that. And after that, if you can get some things that can be added on in the previous category, some other ones that are known to give larger lines of credit that are co-branded cards, if you're over that 645, I'm going to say 650 and up, if you made it past that. Some can be the Amazon Prime Visa. You can test them out to see pre-qualified. They are Chase, and Chase could approve you, but they're a little tougher. But when they're co-branded, they're not as tough. Okay. Costco Everywhere Visa. Another one, the Target Circle MasterCard is another one to be known, and the Best Buy Visa. That's Citibank. And also the Walmart MasterCard. And that will show you your pre-approved credit line. So another one, the Gap Good Rewards MasterCard, and of course, the Apple Card. So those are some other ones that you can look into. I say if you get a larger line of credit with some of the IKEAs and let that report 30 days, let that hit your credit report. Not only if you're under a 700 credit score, you can see your score go up. Okay. And then you move on to the other ones like the Apple and those categories, because they can give you a larger line of credit, which are co-branded cards that you can use anywhere. And that can push you to those larger credit lines. Okay. So that's where we're going to go to move on to in this area. If Diamond, you can come up, because this is one that you can talk about too. Another one in these categories that you can start with, like at the Navy Federal level, is Carrot. So if you guys don't know, Carrot is a credit card for creators. Me and Diamond have this. They do not look at your credit scores. Carrot, they look at your social media following and how much money that you are generating through content creation. And I think Diamonds went up to $25,000. Mine's 20,000, and it reports to your credit report to all three, and they not looking at your credit, your social media following. So this is why we're telling you about social media being a business. You finding ways to generate income, that can be a ways for you to add that to your credit line. Okay.
Yes.
Now I want you to touch on this, because people might say, "Hey, well, I don't have AdSense right now." Well, what kind of way? I'm interested in that, leveraging social media, because I'm about to move into the third step. That's why I want her to segue here, going on to business credit. So we're going to get into the making the money, because what I just laid out for you is a strategy. Our credit is, you know, striving, we're striving with our credit, but at the same time, you're cleaning up your credit so we can go over to the business credit. And while we're increasing our credit score, I hope we're getting to the bag at the same time. I hope we're not just doing it the way we were that got us with the trouble credit. Now, as I'm working on my credit, I'm also working, like Diamond says, some ways to make money in between there. And one thing I want y'all to know, and I'm going to give her the floor to give some ways to make money as a small creator. They just had a terrible jobs numbers that came out. I think it was over 92,000 jobs lost in this last quarter. And even the pundits was surprised, like, what? My God. So a lot of you guys do need to start, like Diamond was saying, leveraging your skills now. You never know with how jobs are being lost. Just by moving in this direction, it might be a lifesaver for you. So think about that. Things are not getting easier out here, you guys. And some of you, if you are not the one in your family to take steps right now, your children, grandchildren, nieces, and nephews might not ever have the opportunity. If you saw from the pandemic, 2019, how rent went up, house prices is out the frame now. And a lot of y'all thought, oh, I'll have a chance later on. And now you're in the later on. And guess what? You're saying, oh my God, what happened? Yeah, we don't have a lot of time to play. If we're saying what happened, prices doubled, but our paychecks didn't, what is going to be for your kids? So if you don't get it now, they might not have the chance to. So start considering getting something going. And Diamond, give some just ideas on how they can make money. And even with the carrot card, how they can show ways as a small creator to start out generating income, and with their following, building their following.
Yeah, so one of the ways that we talked about was digital services. So this could be freelancing either as a consultant, or you can offer your skills. So let's say you can do video editing, and you want to tie these things in with the type of content that you make so that it's kind of all well-rounded, and you can count that as, again, we're running a media business. And so you're counting these things all together, you can also do affiliate marketing. So adding some affiliate links into your content. And this is just like sharing different things that you use on a daily basis. I would say like create a list of the stores that you visit all the time, the softwares that you use all the time, any of the products that you use and have, and go and look and see if those companies have affiliate links. And 9 times out of 10, they're going to have that. You can also do something called UGC content, which is basically creating these very natural feeling advertisement videos for brands. And UGC, user generated content, is cool because you don't need to use your own audience. So you that's something that you could do without actually having an audience, and they just want to use your face to and your skills of creating content to actually promote on their businesses, especially their social medias. Another way that you can also make money is going to be through digital products. So by creating something like a digital download, everything that would tie into your content, and you want to be very solution forward. So you want to be able to solve a problem. And if you approach content in that way, not that you're trying to go viral, not that you're trying to be famous, but that you are looking for monetization and also to solve someone's problem, there are so many different ways for you to actually go ahead and make money in that. And I know I seen someone said that I believe Miss Murphy said that she just started her channel. And so if you're someone who is looking to start a YouTube channel, or you've already been running one and you're not sure exactly what direction to go in to actually monetize, I do have one-on-one coaching that I do, and we can sit down and create a full monetization plan for you to start actually generating money even before your channel is monetized, or how to multiply that money in the correct way. So I'm going to drop a link there.
And one other important thing, you guys, even like with your channels, with the algorithm, like there's certain ways. And congratulations, Miss Murphy, for getting out there and starting your channel and starting your channel. Anybody that's doing that, even if you can, just follow Diamond channel. Follow Diamond. Oh, thank you so
Thank you so
much.
much for the super chat. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rock. We really appreciate that for the super chat. Thank you so much for supporting the live. Thank you.
And I also want to mention that if you are a small creator, I believe that you only need 500 subscribers in order to actually get eligible for super chats and to do lives. And if you guys notice, we maybe have less than 200 people on the live, and yet and still this is a way to monetize as well. So I just wanted to point that out too. That is something that you could do. But thank you so much for the super chat.
Thank you. And one of the ways that you want to do when you start and going with the algorithm, it is not by coincidence. Diamond was able within, actually, it took me longer to get to 100,000 because I started first. It took her within a year or less, maybe about like 9 months, for her to get to 90, well, to that 100,000. And the reason why, because I was in it and I knew the algorithm more. So there is strategies for you guys to drop. When you start off your channel, make sure, one of the tips, make sure you have 3 or 4 videos to start off with. So releasing a couple of videos I'm going to say create 4 before you drop, because you want to drop in sequence. So when people actually come across your channel, then they have another actual video to watch. So it can be suggested. A lot of times, if you click on something, they're going to show that to that person again. So you want them to have enough content. So when you start off, they have something to watch to build up your watch time hours. And you want to right now be, with the algorithm has changed slightly, intentional. So there's certain things that you need to do to dress up your channel. You don't want to just be a variety channel. You want to hit a target when you're starting off because you need to find that audience. And the great thing now, it's not about subscribers anymore. Actually, subscribers now is a vanity. Is really a vanity situation at this point with subscribers. It's people making a lot of money just having a small amount of subscribers, because the way they change the algorithm, it's not that automatically everybody see my videos that subscribe to me. If a person is not clicking on your videos, if you notice now with YouTube, those people don't even show up anymore. So the algorithm actually they have switched it to promote more small creators. You just want to make sure that you're showing up with the right audience. So follow Diamond's channel, her Thrive Online with Diamond Chanel, and she's going to talk more about that. But like I said, on that business side, where we're moving now to that number 4, business credit, you got those lines of credit showing up. Like I said, doing YouTube, doing content creation, that can get you that primary line of credit without even with bad credit. You get what I'm saying? So you might can jump forward, and they're going to report it to your personal credit report. So instead of me having to do all of that, even if I have trouble credit, you telling me I can get that $5,000 line of credit if I start YouTube, because this is a business type of credit card. It's showing your personal credit, but they're giving it you for creators because they know that they are doing business. So that can be your opportunity with some trouble credit on how to hack the system. Also, primarily, big banks are going to look at your personal credit. So you need to clean that up. We don't want to play around. But if you are making cash, there's places that's fintech, like Carrot that we mentioned, that'll look at the income, look at your subscribers, and don't really look at your personal credit. And you can do this with Instagram, TikTok. They use all those social. So even if you're not on YouTube, like I don't have a following, but my TikTok, they'll look at TikTok. They'll look at, if you say I got a lot of followers on my Instagram, yeah, they're looking at over there too. So other social media platforms for you to get approved. And that's because you being a content creator is a business. And so what I said last week, to get these larger lines of credit, you're just starting a YouTube channel and your credit score is right. You could pull up to the bank like me and Diamond did at Chase. Hey, I'm a advertising and media company. We're not content creators. That's why I said we want to say the right thing. We're not content creators. I have an advertisement and media company. Okay, how much is projected? I just started it. How much is projected? In the industry, 100,000 a year. 100,000. Yeah, what's the average projection? 100,000. You could put that, and you haven't made it yet. You haven't made it yet. Guess what? The bank's going to judge you for that. With Diamond, the amount she got 23,000 for her business credit card for her YouTube from the rep. Don't report to her personal credit report. Her card, I got mine, 25,000. So what we're telling you, you don't need a business to get business credit. You just need a strategy. You do, when you go into the banks, you got to clean up your personal credit, because they are going to look at that. But it is not necessary that you are generating income. But if you are, there are fintech options. They're going to look at your income. Now, besides Carrot, they can look at smaller generated income. But for normal business like fintech to look at your business, they want to see $5,000 a month and up that you're generating. Just giving you a number, because a lot of people say, hey, well, I'm making an extra $500 in my side hustle. That number is too small for a lot of these companies. I think the least I have is Fair Figure, and they want to see $2,500 a month. But the normal of those fintechs, $5,000 a month and up. So that, and thank you, Diamond.
Yeah,
We
I
have
want
a
to
sick.
shout out to want to give a shout out to the super chat. Thank you guys so much for all of your donations, and thank you guys for interacting in the comment section. We really do appreciate you all.
And that's Miss Rosalita. I thank you so much. I know the I think I know the tag. Thank you so much. We've been this week. I just want to say thank you so much. I recognize who that is, and I thank you so much for really just following the information. And it was such a pleasure to meet with you today, this week. So thank you. We met on Thursday. So thank you so much
Thank
for the
you.
super sticker. Thank you. That is so awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate that. And we thank you guys just even for being here, listening to these ideas. We want to try to encourage you to think, outside the box. And one thing I want you guys to think about, and oh, I see Miss Rita. She said, "Hey, Miss Rita, hey Queens," and she's been a subscriber for a long time. So thank you for checking
Thank
in.
you.
And I dare you guys go back to having family meetings. So now that we're doing this, we want to encourage you, even if you feel like your family might not be the supportive, maybe you're going to be the voice of reason. And in your household, sit down, have a family meeting. A lot of people have family get togethers, family game night. Why don't y'all have family meeting night and see what ideas that you can come up with? Even with the social media idea, if you have a young granddaughter or daughter and they like fashion, can you support them to start the channel and they be the face of the channel? And I'm just talking about haul channels. That's another one, ladies. If you like fashion, there's haul channels where they just try on things for a certain amount. And if you liked that, it's Valentine's Day, different holidays that's coming up. And if you're into fashion, if you're into makeup, showing people different looks. So that way you can have referral links. I know people make fun of it sometimes, some people don't. Fashion Nova. You got other affordable things. A lot of those places to sign up for those referral links is free. You having a channel and a following that can be generating income and you're doing something you love. So if you have that family meeting, identify somebody with maybe a talent or this is what they like to do. Could you do the background work and support that? So, hey, baby, maybe I can record you. I can load it. If you identify some of the younger kids, hey, they know how to use CapCut. They know a little about editing. Maybe you guys can work together. And even if not that, like we said, we did the grass cut, field inspections we did together. Maybe it's some way that you guys can work together to cross over in that business credit so you can maintain your personal credit and find ways you could work together so everybody can get some extra cash flow. Diamond, do you want to add to that?
No, you pretty much touched on everything there.
All right. Well, wonderful. And we'll move to number 4. So number 4, and we will land here, is going into business credit. So hopefully I'm going to drop the information that I went over tonight, you guys, so you can have those resources in the live when it ends. I'm going to put it in the comment section so you guys can access that, going through those steps to get to the business credit. Now, like I said, for us to move into business credit with the big banks, we have to be cleaned up, our credit profile, and have that $5,000 line of credit. Additionally, if you already have current relationships with your current banks, that you institutions, credit cards, also see at this stage, can you get credit line increases with your current banks? But you want to look for that soft pull pre-approval. Many a times if you call in, it can be a hard pull. So banks like Credit One Bank, you could do it online, it's soft pull. You have banks like Chase. It's no, they part pull you. My bad. Don't do Chase. My bad. Discover, banks like that. American Express is soft pull, and it's a few others that like Navy Federal. If you do it in the system with Navy Fed and do it in the message on your inbox and send that request, it can be soft pull to get that credit line increase. It all depends. So look at your current relationships with your current credit cards and see if you can bump that up before moving to that business credit. If you get approved for those credit line increases, you got to wait 30 days before it show up on your credit report, that increased credit line. And that can increase your credit score, especially for my folks over that 700. That's the way you want to do it. You don't want to add new lines of credit, because when you get over a 700 credit score, that can decrease you, because age of credit is really important. All those that's under that, adding new lines can help benefit you, but not with over that 700. You definitely want to do that credit line increase strategy. And now we're looking at business credit, no bankruptcies, no collections, no hard inquiries. Or we done disputed those hard inquiries to try to get many down as much as possible. One of the places we want to go, because our credit is clean for that business credit, that's good. Chase. Chase is where it's at. Chase, great one. Why Chase? Chase is good. Chase, a lot of people talk about Dun and Bradstreet. Da 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 da. I'm trying to build that. Get to Chase. You get that business credit card. It'll build everything. Equifax Business, Dun and Bradstreet, and also what I said, Equifax and Experian Business. I'm sorry, Experian Business, Equifax Business, and Dun and Bradstreet. Those are going to be the main ones for those business credit reports. And plus, it'll hit up the Small Business Financial Exchange. A lot of people will say, "Oh, that's a credit bureau." It's not. It's a nonprofit, but yes, it pushed that information over there. And business credit cards, some of them only report to that, but it don't build the other ones up. So Chase is a good place. They got two of their business credit cards, 0% interest you can get for 12 months. Great place to go. Business credit card. Next one, American Express. Now, unlike Chase, they don't build that Equifax Business, Experian Business, and Dun and Bradstreet. Chase, not Chase does all three, and the Small Business Financial Exchange, but American Express only reports to the Small Business Financial Exchange. So if you're trying to build business credit, some of that stuff again on those profiles, but the reason why they're great, you get into Chase on the personal side, everything else, soft pull pre-approvals. After that, business credit cards, personal credit cards, you can run it up at Chase. Run it up. They not now, not Chase, American Express. You can run it up at American Express. You get in there, personal side, soft pull, pre-approval for everything when you first get in there. But be aware with them, don't try the little stunt of locking your credit reports. I'm just going to try to pull. They're going to pull. They're going to get at, when you get in there, Experian and TransUnion. You try to block one of them, baby, you're going to end up with 3 or 4 extra hard inquiries. That's what happened to me. I tried to get slick. Ain't going to happen. Go on, let them folks hit you up. And then anything after, they're going to put Experian and they're going to get at that TransUnion. So, but after that, 0% interest cards they have on the business side, get at them on the personal side. But once you get into American Express, you can run it up over there. So they're good. The next one, Citibank. They don't have a lot of business credit cards, but just like Chase, they report to all three financial, business credit, business reporting agencies or credit reports. Okay, the main three: Equifax Business, Experian Business, and Dun and Bradstreet. So you get a credit card with them, like Chase. They report to all three, and you can build your business credit over there with them. Another good one, and something you can catch with sometimes with Citibank. A lot of people, Equifax don't have a lot. They can pull for Equifax. It does pull regional, but you can catch them to pull exclusively from Equifax sometimes. So that's what's positive about them. Another one that will build all three, I'm not a fan, Capital One. They build all three. Capital One will report to Experian Business, Equifax Business, and Dun and Bradstreet. One thing I can say about Capital One: if you have trouble credit and your credit ain't all the way right, you can go and see them for a business credit card. Even I've seen like a 580 credit score, but they're going to report that classic card they have, that business one, to your personal credit report. So that kind of mess up the game for you. But the only thing, if you're really in business, trying to build that business credit, they will give you an opportunity. It ain't going to be a big credit line. Don't get it twisted now. Don't think, oh, I'm going to go over there. Not if your trouble messed up. They got some other ones on the business side that's a little higher tier. They won't report to your personal credit report. But the bad thing about them, they pull all three. So they're going to pull TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. That's why I'm not a fan of them. Majority of the rest of the banks, like Chase, will pull from Experian, or they might pull from TransUnion. Primarily, you're going to see Experian. So at least they're going to hit you up on one. Only thing about Chase, they do have the 520. My light is really acting up tonight. Chase got the 524 rule. So when you're going for business credit, everybody will tell you try to go to Chase first, okay? Because the 524 rule is you can't have 5 new accounts in 24 months in your personal. So if you got in the last 2 years, if you got 5 new credit card accounts, they don't care if you at number 6, you got an 850 credit score. It's no. You can't come on over here. But that's only on the personal credit side. With the business credit, if you're getting in the LLC, a lot of people don't know that 524 go out the door. They'll look at your personal and that 524. So that's the back door. So even if you got some extra ones like that, 524 don't matter if you're going on that business side and it's for LLC. Okay. So Chase is good for that. Another thing with Chase, I like why I said number one, Chase now is certain ones that will give you a business credit card in your personal name. And you can set that bad boy up where, as a sole proprietorship, independent contractor, it don't report to your personal credit report. You set that up, right? So they will report even a sole proprietorship, that so you can get your We Make Hot Dogs LLC and a business credit card with Chase, maybe 25,000, and you can get one in your name and report into not to your personal credit 25,000, and you can get another company and Chase 25. They'll see it totally different. And that only that 524 they'll look at it in your personal name if you PGN, but for those other businesses, they don't look at that because they're looking at the business. So Chase is good for that. American Express, on the other hand, unlike Chase, they don't let you do that with your personal credit report. So if you're going there as a sole proprietorship and you're not like an LLC or S corp, no, they're going to hit that card in your personal name. So that's why I like Chase. That's why I rock with Chase, all because of that. They'll do that. Another bank that'll do that, Another one is you can get that off with Citibank too. So some of them will do that. US Bank could do that. Bank of America, do Bank of America do that? I think Bank of America will do that. I think they wanted a few. Bank of America would do that. Now, let me tell you, a lot of y'all don't like Bank of America. Am I going too far? Diamond, let me know. Am I giving out too much information? No, I'm good. Okay. I don't want to confuse nobody. Bank of America. Let me tell you, Bank of America is the play. Bank of America now. I know a lot of people don't like them, but Bank of America, they got a rule that if you with Bank of America, now they ain't going to give you the bag from the door. Now Chase will give you that big line. You can slide on over to American Express. You could get them big lines from the door. Chase is going to be they going to fill you out. They really looking at that relationship, but you can maybe come in, get that 10,000. Chase, if they don't know you that well, they're going to be a little reserved. I ain't gonna lie. They'll like, hey, that from the door. But that second one, they'll you can get it from Chase. Diamond got it from the door. They like to. My first one, it was in my personal name. So they like, hold up. So they gave me something like 10,000, but I felt they could have did better with my personal name with that thing. But the second one with the LLC, they gave me a big one. But Bank of America, they ain't going to just like go crazy from the door. But what they do, that one hard inquiry you could get 3 cards from them in that same line within 30 days. That's what you can do with Bank of America. So don't sleep on them. So you get that hard inquiry, you got 30 days. You can get 3 credit cards. So you might can get that business credit card and or say get that personal credit card, then go on and get 2 business credit cards for your separate businesses. Now, what they're going to do, if that first one is bigger, you'll start seeing them decrease for the other ones, might be a little lower. But if you want to run it up, you can get them in the first 30 days too. So there's others. Truist is great. They're another great bank. Right now, they're on a little relationship tip because people did them dirty, but they're another one. You can get the card in your own personal name and they'll report it. You set it up right, not to your credit report. So I'll land there. There's a few others. Truist, they report to the Small Business Financial Exchange. A lot of people like Navy Federal. Navy Federal don't report to the business credit reports. So they're not going to build you. It'll be like getting some funding off the table. They're not the best for business credit, great for the personal credit side. But it's a lot I can say about that subject, but that's where you want to be because you can also get larger lines of credit, like 20, 30,000 for the RIP, and it don't report to your personal credit report. You set it up right. So Diamond, come to the stage. Let's see if folks got questions. I know I put a lot of information. The stuff I just mentioned with the business credit, I'm not writing that down. I ain't gonna lie. I give y'all the other things because I already have it written down. But the business credit just come back. I might have to do a time step. I kind of went off the cuff on that as it came to me. But I'm just saying that's just where you can take it, clean up everybody credit, step number 4, and then y'all can get at a bunch of stuff. Another thing. If you got bad credit, you get one person good credit cleaned up. Now here's another thing. That's why I say y'all just gonna have to replay the replay. Here's the game with the strategy, y'all. A lot of y'all think, oh, that's gotta be so far away. No, I got people in the group. They disputed in about two rounds, had some crap on their stuff. It just so happened Equifax got cleaned up from for 2, whatchamacallit. They still got the other stuff on the other ones. So what we do, we leverage Equifax. They went to Truist, got their business credit, and the other 2 credit scores after 2 disputes still toe up. But they moving with the business credit. So what I'm saying, it ain't gotta take forever, but gotta take you moving. And another thing, a lot of people, oh, I'm gonna do it myself. Listen, don't step over dollars to pick up pennies. Some of this, as I told you, is folks that's moving. The game plan is you want to get moving. So, um, time is money, and you ain't got a lot of time. A lot of these doorways have changed. I'm going to say a year ago, oh, things, the lane was open when we was calling for y'all to come in the lane. And if you, as Marvin Gaye, talk about no more standing on the wall, if you was over there standing on the wall, you missed the party. And boy, was the party a blast. You missed the party. But there's still some people on the dance floor. You could be one of them, but you got to stop playing around. So I mentioned, somebody said, hey, did you talk about people using your tax returns wisely? That could be one of the plans. Pay off some of your debts, invest in yourself, invest in business, see what you can do. And like they said, use your tax returns wisely. If you got a little credit card debt, throw some here, throw some there. Handle your business. You get what I'm saying? Do what you need to do. I'm not one to tell people what to do with their stuff. But like they said, maybe you should look at that and see how you can best use it. If it's going to help you pay off some debt. I'm not saying things that's negative, because you can get some of those things in. I would dispute it before I pay these folks, especially like I keep telling y'all, collections, y'all playing, you letting people play in your face. You can start moving those. I ain't paying them. You're third party later. And you want, if you go into that business credit, I'm going to tell y'all, you better off not paying some of this stuff if it's not currently, oh, because you can move it. It makes it harder when a lot of y'all be smarty McMarties and I start paying them. And then you're looking at me. So how are we going to say that ain't mine and you're currently paying them? You just made your life 10 times harder because you thought you was doing something. Well, congratulations, as Ebo said, you played yourself. Because once you paid them, they update it as a new negative item. If you ain't negotiate that, and they could say whatever they want over the phone in your face, but if you ain't get that in writing before you start paying that, oh, they're going to keep that there. Most likely they're going to keep that there. And guess what? You started the clock another 7 years, and it makes it harder to say it ain't mine. Have we had people that stuff come off? It was somebody today we went off. They did a whole payment plan through a debt consolidation company, and they got stuff off. But what I'm just telling you, it makes it more problematic. Seek out some help. Because a lot of y'all stepping over dollars to pick up pennies. Well, I was just going to work it out myself. Now you lost money. And then people be looking crazy. Well, I just did. You lost money. What you want me to say? You lost money. If the help was out here and because of a couple of bucks. And that's another thing. It got to be said. Got to be said. No, it has to be said. I know I see you're nervous thing, but it has to be said.
Mm-hmm.
It got to be said. This system with the credit coaching, $39.99 a month.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's walk this out. I want to walk this out. Right, $39.99 a month. If you guys are paying for Experian right now to get Experian credit reports or whatever, they're charging you. I know, I pay these people $26 a month. Then if you pull Equifax and TransUnion, they're going to charge you another $29.99. With the system, you're getting your credit reports. So think about it. A large chunk of that $39.99 is bringing in your credit reports. Okay? $39.99. Let's just pretend a lot of people have collections. If you have a collection for $100, let's let's do light math. For $100 and it come off in 1 month. If you spent $39 and you got $100 collection or charge off that you know is yours, are you in the positive or are you in the negative? Our is $40 greater than $100. Let's just keep the math simple. That's about $60 that you up.
Mm-hmm.
And how many of y'all got $100 collection? How many of y'all got $100 charge off? Not many of y'all. Y'all looking at $500 and up. So if you get in 2 months where I got people preach, that's part of the system. First month, nothing's guaranteed. First month, moving on some flim flam, 3 items, and you emailing me, I ain't got it. Can you meet with me? Hell no. I just gotta say for you. Hell no. No, you can't. No, I can't. No. No, I'll be honest. I can't. No, I can't. Because guess what? No, I can't. If that's not a deal for you, I can't help you. Your mindset is not to the place where it can be helped. Get it how you live it. I'm just being 100. You're not going to burn my time. You're not. Can I get a phone call? Hell no. Because my phone call is more than me on my cell phone than $39.99. If I got people in my group and they got hit me, I got emergency. I'll be having to call them because guess what? You are here and you're part of the thing. Then I got you supporting me. I gotta support you. But just like, hey, can you call me? No, I can't. Or is the people that I got to go? I have Diamond. You remember the person? It was 2 years ago. Call me, Sherry. I don't know how they got my number.
Oh, yeah.
I got court tomorrow. It's like,
What? It's a call Jesus, huh?
These folks suing me tomorrow. Child, you hold on. These people served you. You not in. I don't know you. You not participating in this, and I need to call. I need to know what to do. Baby, you couldn't even just at least send me an email when you got served. I remember was calling me back to back to back. I was like, what in the world? Are we serious here? What am I supposed to tell you to do? What am I supposed to tell you to do? I am not an attorney. You have way too much trust in me. This is way above my pay grade. I can give you an angle, but baby, can you give me some time? And I have no obligation to you. I like, if you in the group and y'all been, I gotta kind of, hey, I gotta get at this person. You see what I'm saying? I'm kind of obligated to this person. But nah, I like what? Call me though. Call me. Who said that? Jay-Z, call me. Sometimes gay. Call me. No, I'm not calling you. I have a small child. No, I can't. My time have to be strategized. So all I'm just saying, if you can't dedicate to yourself, I can't. That's all I gotta say. All I gotta say. I'm going to tell you straight up what I tell everybody because I gotta be real. I'm never going to be more motivated about your credit than you. Not in a million years. If you cool with not being approved for a loan, you like it, I love it. Fine by me. You okay with your kids, having to run down the block? because things ain't safe, that don't bother you, it can't bother me. You get what I'm saying? So what I got to do? Jesus said the poor will be with you always. And not because they want to be, or that they can't do better and they got to be poor. Some people just make conscious decisions to be in that situation. They just not going to try. And I know people. Am related to people like that.
Mm.
I'll be honest. I see them, and I'm not like no tea, no shade family. I'm not talking about anybody individually. I have had groups of it. They could be in Miami, and I be knowing people broke. Be like, yo, this place be person be everywhere, and then calling you like, I need your help, bruh. You can't. This is you. You got to put your. I listen. I like what, and I ain't got it. I just saw you in Miami. You get what I'm saying? I'm not. What I'm supposed to do to get at your credit reports? I gotta pay that? No. I'm not motivated even about my more than my family situation than somebody else. So because why would I invest it in you if you got that kind of mentality? You just gonna burn it down anyway and make life for the rest of us harder. Because when we go see the bank, you done messed it up for us. They done changed up rules. So for the good of everybody involved, when your mind get right, come see me. But it has to be said. I'm done. I'm done. Enough said.
Uh, no, that was, I mean, you keeping it real, and that was something definitely needed to be said. If y'all can, I mean, you gave so much gems on this live.
And we got to keep it reality. And it's just like, yo, like this, if it that just don't even make sense. You're gonna mess up the game for everybody else. That's why I stopped saying a lot of plays or did it, because you get it in the hands that get it for free. People haven't learned responsibility. It's burning it down. One person, the banks can have great experiences with all 114 people in this room, but one person burn it down, then they start putting up hoops for the rest of us. So if that doesn't rationalize to you to invest in your own, hey, then we're not going to work well together. I promise you, we're not going to work well. No, I'm dead serious, y'all, and y'all know how I do in the group. I'm a coach for a reason. Okay. Not everybody's meant to be on the team. I'll tell you, I played basketball. My coach, number one, you had to come and try out. Do you have the material? And you're lucky to get on that list. Then guess what? You better show up and do that, or you're not going to be on the team long. Ain't nobody looking for you to suit up. You got to be ready. So that's my mentality. Not everybody. Everybody, Phil Jackson wasn't taking everybody on the team. Neither am I. That's all I got to say. All right, Diamond, come back up. Yeah, that's just how it is.
Yeah. Y'all, if y'all still listening, and just if you caught all the gems here, please put a 1 in the chat as we're about to go through some of your comments that you had, because there was so many gems dropped on tonight's live. So go ahead, put a 1 in the chat if you're still here, if you got something thus far. And also, if you guys do want one-on-one coaching, we have the link that is in the comment section. And if you are an elite member, before you book, please email us, because we have a discount code for you. So we don't want you to pay full price because you're already in the elite credit system. So please shoot us an email. And thank you for everyone putting a 1 in the chat
for y'all. So please don't just go there and book that.
Yes,
we got to see you guys. Yeah, it's heavily discounted. So please don't pay extra.
And if y'all, if you're in the elite credit system and you don't know how to reach out to us, we always have at the bottom of your screen or the bottom of your portal, you're going to have the support email. It's going to come directly to us. We give first priority to anyone in the elite credit system, so we answer back as quickly as possible, for sure. So please do email us before you book. For anyone else, because a lot of people they might want a one-off type of meeting. You might not want to do the monthly service. So if that's you, please do book the personal one-on-one. And if you're someone that you need a more affordable option, we do have our DIY credit repair bundle, and we do have some other resources that are there. If you just looking towards collections, we do have just a collection package, because we're trying to make sure we do meet the needs of different situations. And so we have so many different pricing models for you to go ahead and get your credit in the right position. So everything is going to be on our website, and we're going to go ahead and send you the link to that. Thank you everyone for putting the
And
one
one
in
thing,
the chat.
you guys, if you have collections, that's the most dominant credit issues. Please don't ever sign those letters. Keep that in mind. Don't sign those letters. They're third party. Don't let them get your signature, because they'll put it on a contract. Send it certified mail. Okay, so that's very important. Never sign. The credit bureaus sign your letters, but collection companies never sign those letters. Okay, please just remember that.
Yeah, so we're gonna go over just a few of the comments that we had. So the first one was, I do have a question. Someone added me as an authorized user on their credit card without my permission and is interfering with my home buying process. Is there a way to get it removed?
Yes, just have them to take you off of the card. It sounds like their utilization might be high. If that's the problem, yes, have them to remove you as an authorized user on the card. If it's a late payment, sometimes it go away, but you might have to dispute it. I'm glad you brought this up. Another good point, you guys, for buying a home, right? I had somebody that did a consult this week looking for a home. You're trying to build up FICO 5. A lot of it is some banks use FICO 5. That's an older scoring model. So and now they're using FICO 10T. Those rent reporter accounts and like rent reporters, other things do not work for FICO 5. So you have to go at a different angle if you need to get that credit score up. And a lot of people do an authorized user, but when you're going for mortgages, they'll make you come off if that person is not your spouse. So if you're trying to get that up, you got to go at that different, okay? Because it's an older model. It has to do with Congress, like with FHA and VAs in the 2000. So now, because legislation approved that model, you'll see that older model they use, not the newer models. So rent reporter accounts and stuff don't help that FICO 5. So just that's just a tidbit for that, since you're looking for a home.
And now, Obsession Travel said, I have a charge off with Capital One and Wells Fargo. I disputed it, but it came back and it dropped my credit 170 points.
Capital One, I disputed it, but it came back. Do you have if they updated it and changed it, did they start hitting you late on your credit report? So something had to change. Also, if you can, what was your current credit score before it dropped at 170 points? It sounded like it had to be really high because to see that big of a hit. Give me that information. And did they start reporting it late for it to hit that? It sounded like your credit score had to be really high to see a drop like that. And another thing, add, where did you see that? Because Credit Karma, sometimes if you're viewing for there, it'll do some loopy stuff. One time, it was a couple of people being in a group. Credit Karma, a lot of people with mortgages, and it did that to mine. It had dropped my credit score. I'm like, what the heck? Like 50 or some, like 50 points on Credit Karma. I went to Experian, nothing changed. And it was with my mortgage, and a couple of people had that too. And I knew it was a fluke. So where were you viewing that? Let me know on that. Was that Credit Karma that you saw that drop?
We have a question from James Harris that says, I have 6 credit cards with a credit score of 660, with Navy Federal being 4,600 and the others 500 and up. Should I just apply for a credit increase with Navy Federal?
I would the others that's 500, I would start with them and bump it up because they might with the Navy Fed go higher for it to report on your credit report. One thing you didn't include your credit, you got a credit card of 4,600. What is your balances right now? So before you go and ask for any credit line increase, you got to make sure the utilizations on your cards are down reasonably. So if those cards are close to being maxed out, I would first, before I ask for anything or a new card, get that utilization down because they could say no because it looked like you in a financial strain. So let me know that. And I would, all the cards, the 500 cards that's 500 and up, I would start with them, asking them for increases, the ones that soft pull pre-qualification to increase that. So just call and look up, can you start? And I'll start with them because they might bump higher now that they see the Navy Fed. And then I'll circle back to the Navy Fed. If one of these go beyond that 4,600 and then go to the Navy Fed. Okay, then go. Because I told y'all with the Chase, I bumped that up. I mean, with the Navy Fed, I had a $25,000 credit card. Went, let that report. It was already reporting. I went to Chase. They gave me a $33,000 credit card. Then, because that Navy Fed card, I had it for a little minute. Then I went back once the $33,000 credit card reported, asked Navy Fed for a credit line increase, and they matched the 33 that was from Chase. So when I'm telling you, bump the lower ones up first because you got the Navy Fed reporting, and those might come up, then go to Navy Fed and get the increase.
Someone asked, strategy wise, how would you recommend paying a $5,000 medical procedure? Using my credit cards with high limits or applying for their loan?
Look at your credit cards and look at the interest rate and look at the interest rate for the loans. So if we just was talking about Navy Federal have lower interest rates, sometimes very competitive. So if you have a credit card like that and the loan that they're offering you, if the Navy Federal card is better, you got the room to put it there. Sometimes that's better. So hopefully that answers your question. I will look at the interest rates on my current credit card because if it's like my Chase card that's 26%, no. What's another one? Discover 21%, maybe not. If that loan, you got to look at what their interest rate. If it's like something like I'm seeing loans about probably like 15%. And one thing with the personal loan, a lot of times, see if they have pre-penalty fees and loan origination fees for those loans. So find out, is it origination fees? Because sometimes you see those loan terms and they might say you get approved for 20,000, but you're going to get 18 because they taking 2,000 off the top, but you got to pay them 20,000 back. Make it make sense. So find out what's the terms of that loan and which one had the best interest rates.
And then we had one more question. Said, hello, beautiful ladies. Can the elite credit system provide remedies for apartment collections?
Yes. And if you have an apartment collection, even with our package, we have a particular collection letter for apartments. So I'm a landlord. One of the ways with apartment collections, you want to attack that. They sell that to third parties, usually the original landlord. What you want to do, press them, Ask them what happened with your security deposit. A lot of states require them to put that security deposit in an interest bearing account. Then I would also press and ask them, well, did they notify you what they did with your security deposit? What did they spend it on? They usually have to write you within 30 days and tell you why they took that security deposit, because some states they can get in trouble and you can sue for double. So what our letters do is push them for that information, and many a time that third party don't have that pertaining to, and some other things that's in there to that. And you want to ask for the original whole contract. A lot of them try to get slick and send you the last page that you signed with the original land. They ain't the whole damn contract. Let's stop playing in my face. Because in there, in that whole contract of your lease, you might have had, where did it say that this can be sold? So don't let them, a lot of y'all might do that when you send a debt validation letter. They'll send you the last page, what it say, the first page and the last, when it's like 16 pages in between there. No, I need the whole thing. And that's what our letters talk about. So that's how you want to do that with the elite credit system. Yes, we can help you with that, getting that off too. But that's how y'all want to handle, especially them rental. It be tagging them up with those in between things.
Do you want to take one more question?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so Tim, I'm sorry. I'm
Okay.
sorry, Miss Green. I'm not sure how to pronounce your first name. I'm fresh out of a bankruptcy and it was discharged last May 2025. Where do you suggest that I start?
I would start, you want to dispute that bankruptcy off. So what you want to do with bankruptcies, you want to attack the public reporting part. So where it's going to be in public records on your credit report, you want to dispute that bankruptcy part. You want to attack that part. And on your credit report, all I'm assuming it's a chapter 7 that you got out of it that quick. Chapter 13s and 7s are different, but that sound like a chapter 7. So your credit card debts and all of those things that got discharged in that bankruptcy is still reporting on your credit report. But for you to get those removed, you got to remove that public part of that bankruptcy. So sometimes that's not going to be linear, and we see that a lot in the elite credit system. One of the ones that tends to move fast, I have seen that reporting in a month, is Equifax. So if that get removed, then we dispute to get the rest of those, because once that get removed, it's no longer true. So this is not me. So how are these accounts? I don't have no bankruptcy here. So that get removed. Now those other accounts, wrong person. I don't have no bankruptcy. And those come off easy. But that's what you want to do. And like I said, you guys, one of the strategies we use, everything don't be linear, but that's one of the ones. Equifax get cleaned up. And it was somebody that had that situation with a bankruptcy. That thing came off quick. They were able to get business credit with that in 2 to 3 months with that bankruptcy off. So what you can do, leverage, and this is for everybody, your credit reports that get clean, don't sit there. That's another thing. A lot of people, that burns my biscuit, are so negative. Like they'll, oh yeah. And I make it a habit. All right, let's go through this. You already got this many off of this many off of this, and this many off of this thus far. Been 2 rounds. Yeah, but still, I got stuff on TransUnion. But your other 2 is pretty much cleaned off. So you not thinking, and I don't know if this don't resonate. I need to be running with these right here. Okay, I'll send my next round with that. Why are you focusing on that when you got these other 2 cleaned off? Are you playing in my face? What are you complaining about? You just what? You got to win. Why ain't you running? And what you gonna sit here and cry about one? Are you really serious right now? No. Focus on what you got cleared off. Does that dawn on anybody? And move with that. Your question should be like, yo, I got this. What should I be doing now? Make it make sense. And you keep on disputing the other ones. That's what you do. You leverage what you got clean. I hope that helps. I'm the only I'm not credit repair, credit strategist that ever tell y'all that. Can somebody name somebody in the comment section that ever told you that? Why doesn't that make sense? Why doesn't that make sense for anyone? Because a lot of people, I'll be honest. Let me be honest with you. Let me be honest. A lot of y'all, it is some people that know some game. I'm not going to call, some people know some game. I ain't going to discredit everybody. Some people know some game. I ain't going to front. Some people know them. Me and Diamond, you were talking about, like, these people over here, they know some game. Some people know some game. I'll tell you. Some people know some game, but they ain't going to tell you all the game. They going to keep it light, but it's some monsters out here. So I'm not saying everybody, they know some game. But what I'm telling y'all, other people kind of listen what other people say and kind of parrot it. I'll be honest with you. Because content creation, I can just say what the other guy said. Why not? You know what I'm saying? Why not? Who would know? You don't know. But the difference is, it's the insight. Just what I said right there. You see how simple? A light bulb? You know what? That kind of makes sense. Why would I just sit around here complaining? No, you better move as fast as you can. Catch me if you can. What everything I can run up. Now I got this clean. Whining and crying. No, you got to get it moving. The difference between me and other people, the way I learned this, if allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Hope. That's what he said. But what I'm saying, my name is Sherry. I really had to invest. I learned about credit because I got my first rental property at the age of 21 with her being a mama, leveraged that. Then when I went to the second one at 25, I started to learn like, hey, I ain't never missed nothing. I can't get approved for this second rental property. And so that's when I learned on how I had to present to get funding, to actually get approved for crap. A lot of these people are telling you stuff, but it ain't equaling getting approving for real stuff. You get what I'm saying? So I understood, and that's why I understand why everybody else didn't know this, because a lot of people are just parroting things. They're not really doing it. Big difference. They're not really doing it. So that's why when I'm telling you, I'm the only one around here. I'm the only one that told y'all that secret. Yo, you ain't really got to move nothing. You want to increase your credit score, do that. That's a gift. Thank me later. You're welcome. I gave you real game, while everybody else, a lot of time giving you a lot of BS. I'm telling you what's real. Long as them things ain't hitting you. But at the same time, you're going to run to a glass ceiling. And I'm going to tell you, should you pay them? No, not right now. You shouldn't. No, I wouldn't pay nobody right now. I'm going to dispute it off. Why would I break off $15,000 that I ain't got where I can dispute it with a letter? Make it make sense. If one of it fall off one credit bureau, even if it's on the others, a lot of people sit there and, oh my God, why ain't you moving with the one we got cleared up? I mean, for real, are you serious? Or maybe I'm just the one hustling out here because I ain't got a job. Okay, I ain't got no job. I eat what I kill. So common sense would tell me, well, hey, let's move over here. I got to get something done. That should dawn on you, not focusing on negatives. Look, that's how I can tell you hang with negative people that ain't moving. Because if If you around a lot of negative people that all they do is whine and cry, you're gonna whine and cry too. Nobody get the light bulb and say, hey, what about this? The obvious choice. Leverage this. You need a car loan? A lot of y'all, oh, I can't get a car. Why don't you clean up? Let's aim at one of these. And whichever one that comes out best after a dispute or two, maybe we should look for car loans that only pull from over here. How about that? And then your whole car payment will be different. When I keep telling y'all that there's banks that don't work with houses, they're gonna pull everybody. Different game. But all I'm just telling you, you got to get common sense. Don't sit there crying. Don't sit there and do nothing listening to other negative people that ain't thinking. Okay, don't even do it. Child, you gonna be just like them, sitting right there whining and crying. No, move what you can move and get moving. Then if you do that and you can leverage that, get your little business going, your money up, then you might can produce that. I'm not going to tell you burn everybody all the time. Navy Federal, I would go and pay those folks when I get the money. If I move them off my credit report, if I can move around without them right now and I got to get what I need to get, then I go back and pay them. Those are, if you can get that relationship, they'll take you back, but they don't forgive. There's a point that if I had Chase and American Express, they got a long memory. It is what it is. I might have to pay them because I don't want to live in the ghettos of credit card companies all my life. I want to be able to get some business credit. But if that's not you right now, hey, that's why I said get the consulting. Hey, that's what I listen to. You can move around right now. Why should we worry about that? If your goal is to get a home, hey, I don't need a $15,000 credit card and pay Navy Federal if I can wipe them off. Yeah, I'll think about that later. Let me get my home. Just common sense. All right, come back up. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. But you're not going to get that. Everybody, a lot of thing is marketing. I'm just saying. I talk about common sense because I actually had to live it. That's all I'm saying. Somebody said, what if you're $60,000 in debt and you're leaning towards bankruptcy? I'll see what I could do with the people I got right now, what I can move around. Number one, I'll focus on my oldest credit card, right? Like I always tell you that. I went and burned everything. I'll try to see that with that. I'll go and talk to my creditors. Bankruptcy, you guys, ain't the easy out. Bankruptcy, tell you the truth, that's going to stay on you for 10 years. Chapter 7 will. How that sound? If I default on this, I mean, hey, I might can dispute it off. I'm just saying, or cut a deal with them. If they come and chase me in court, this is not legal advice. I'm just saying, I'm just thinking out loud. Hey, if they come after me in court, I can bankrupt it then. I can pull the plug then, or maybe I can cut a deal and dispute it off my credit report. And I might can pay these folks if I default off it in 2 years, then wait 10 years to get this off my credit report. Yeah. And if it default, hey, I'm looking at 7. Worst case scenario if I can't move it off. But if I'm disputing it and it's charged off, it's going to move off of somebody, off of one of these bureaus. And I guess that's what I'll be working with. That's how I do it. I'm just saying, why would I wait chapter 7 and now I got 10 years of a bankruptcy? I can't get business credit. I might can cut a deal with these folks, call them, worst case scenario, charged off, disputed off. Some of them might move off of one bureau. Get that rocking. And if they come and see me, handle that then. If they sue me, either way with bankruptcy, you got to go to court. I gotta go work. Catch me when you can, like the gingerbread man. I ain't got it. So as Tasha K saying, I ain't got it. I ain't got it right now. You have to see me when you see me. I'm gonna see if I can shake. And what's the worst thing? I set up a payment plan. Take me a year or two. It's long. It's I could probably pay you guys back in 5 years. It's chapter 7. That's another 5 years I have to wait. Off my credit report, they can only report it on me if I don't pay it for 7 years. Chapter 7, 10 years. Chapter 5, what not chapter 5, chapter 13 is going to stay on for 7 years. Hey, after the payment plan, and that payment plan take a minute, and then 7 years. So like I said, I wouldn't myself. What I would try to do, if I could pay some down and strategize that, see if I can get a loan for some of it, if I can go over and get a personal loan. So I might have to make some strategies. If I have a 401k, maybe I need, if I can borrow over there off the 401k, pay off this debt, that can bring down, get up my credit report. If I got a 401k, I could pull off. That's a debt or a loan that's not being reported to my credit report. Get another loan. Either I could pay that back, or depending on how long on my job, then I can get a loan to pay off all. If I can't hit it all, let me get what I can get and pay off some. Aim for the highest interest debt, the most problematic, and that might give me room to breathe on the rest. I mean, that's just me. If it one default, I ain't paying no chapter 7. No, we gonna run it. No, I'm about to see what I can do. That's just me. Because it's going to be on you, like I told you. Chapter 7, 10 years. Plus those things, you're not shaking them. It's showing up on your credit report. That is labeled as that account discharged in chapter 7. So you're not shaking it. It's still so okay. Well, if we're gonna rock out, let it rock out. I can dispute that off. That's just me. I mean, that's just me. She said chapter 13. Well, you set up a payment plan and you don't have to wrap everything up in that chapter 13. So I would keep open my longest standing credit card. That's what I would do, because then if you burn everything in that, then you really have nothing. Chapter 13, like with mortgages and stuff and car payments, that don't show up on your credit report while you in that payment plan. But what happens is, a lot of time, if you're in the active 13, unlike chapter 7, because it get discharged, a lot of companies will not give you a credit card in the active chapter 13. Only one will, Credit One Bank. And that's probably as far as you can go. So I would want to keep open, because your credit score going to stay down if you can't. So that would be your only option in an open chapter 13. That's only one I know that would give you that. But then that keep you stuck for a couple of years. So I would keep one out, some of my oldest accounts. And if I can do those, I'll do those. So hopefully that answered the question.
Yes. So, well, I don't want us to get too crazy and answer
All right.
questions
Oh,
if you
yeah,
guys.
yeah. And we're going to land. Yes.
Well, because we do have one-on-one. So if you guys, and we're always back every single weekend. But if you guys need a personalized strategy, that is going to be the perfect time to book a one-on-one call. So you can either type this in to your URL, you can email us, or you can type in sherrybeckley.com and you can book a one-on-one. If you are an elite member, please email us first before you book, because we do have a discount for you. So again, you guys can go to the website sherrybeckley.com. You can find the hard inquiry letter that we talked about, which is for free. You can also find our DIY credit repair bundle, our collection removal bundle, and everything right now is on sale on the website. So sherrybeckley.com for any of you guys who are interested. And we also will have the links in the description for the replay. Thank you guys so much for joining in. We do, and we
Yes,
appreciate
thank you.
everyone who super chatted. Thank you guys so
Oh
much.
my God, everyone that super chatted, thank you so much. We appreciate every one of you that gave those super chats. Thank you. I really appreciate it. And thank you guys that are showing up for these No More Getting It Out the Mud challenge. And like I said, if you need help, insight to your situation, book the consultation. And like I said, hopefully I gave you something to think about, me and Diamond, and just some common sense. What we are, that's our new thing, insight. We're giving you insight. So you know it's real because of the insight that we're giving. So make sure you join us next week. And we want y'all to be safe and have a happy week, you guys. Be safe.
Real quick, I wanted to shout out this testimonial. She said, Mel Flanagan said, I want to thank you so much. I've been watching you for 2 years and I was at a 570 and now today I'm at a 764. So just amazing.
Congratulations, Mel, to you. Congratulations to you. Thank you so much for the testimonial. And thank you for coming back and telling us, and commend to you because it took some work to do that. So everybody just get started. Do something. So thank you, Mel. We really appreciate it.
Thank you guys so much, guys. Have a blessed night.
All right. Enjoy your night. Bye-bye.